Hello watch fans, this is Anders here on Watch On channel. So today the full review of a very interesting ceramic material dive watch from Rado. Rado, which is a Swiss brand established in 1928 and which today is owned by Swatch Group. So the watch comes in this nice little box here with Rado printed in gold. I did do a full unboxing video of this watch and the Captain Cook automatic chronograph watch, which I also did review. You can find links to both of these videos down in the description. So let's open the box here and see what's inside. And here we find the watch. This is a very interesting watch because of the materials. This is the Rado Captain Cook high-tech ceramic dive watch. So this, as the name states, is made of ceramic materials, which is very interesting. So Rado are a brand that is known for actually using ceramic materials, making their watches, mostly probably known for a lot of the dress and everyday style watches. But after the relaunch of the Captain Cook lineup of watches, they are starting also to make these Captain Cook divers in ceramic materials. The Captain Cook lineup of dive watches was initially released in 1962 with the Captain Cook diver. A few years ago they revived the lineup with a 37mm Captain Cook watch. Since then a lot of sizes and colors has joined the collection, and now they are also using the ability with this high-tech ceramic material to make watches, to make these dive watches in ceramic material. As you can see, it is an automatic watch. It is powered by a Rado movement, a Rado R763 80-hour power reserve automatic movement. I do think this movement is Rado's version of the Powermatic 80, and Rado, they actually do state that they test the accuracy of these movements in not 3 but 5 different positions. And while we're talking about the movement, I think that Rado are doing a great job, because as you can see on your screen now, this is actually approximately 3 seconds plus per day. That's really great. It is not a chronometer certified watch, and still you get chronometer grade accuracy. So this watch is definitely a big dive watch, because you get 43.3mm diameter size of the case. If you exclude the bezel here and just, as you see, it overhangs, count in the case, measure the case, it's 42.6. So definitely just think about this is much more of approximately 43mm in diameter, but not a small watch in any way. This is a bigger, prominent dive watch with 300 meters of water resistance, as you can see. It is no less than 14.7mm thick, and that is of course including this beautifully kind of vintage inspired domed sapphire crystal. Looks really nice. You just see how everything just kind of distorts in this crystal. Looks amazing. Really like this touch instead of a completely flat crystal, although that would of course remove a couple of millimeters of the thickness. I think that's the right choice to make this beautifully domed sapphire crystal. Then we get 49.5mm lock tip to lock tip here, and with the bracelet overhanging it's up towards 56mm, but it wears a little bit smaller than that. You get an unguarded screw down crown, which is signed with the Rado anchor logo here, you see. The watch with all the links weighs 159 grams. I did remove one link, so it's still not too heavy for a bigger dive watch, and that's pretty interesting. I'm not sure, but maybe this ceramic material is not as heavy as stainless steel. It is definitely more scratch resistant, so you definitely get a watch which can handle scratches much better than stainless steel, which will scratch very easily. Danish retail price of this watch is 31,200 Danish crowns. Have a look at Rado's website to find your local AD. If you're interested in this watch, then you can find your local price, and you can of course also visit your local Rado AD to try on this watch, because I definitely think you should try it if it's something for you. So let's talk a little about the different versions you can get of this watch. You can get a blue dial, a brown dial, a black skeleton. You can choose between rubber straps and bracelet. This is kind of a purplish blue dial. You see this beautiful sunburst effect. I think it's a perfect color combination with the black, grayish, brownish ceramic material. The interesting thing is that the bezel here, which you see is sloping inwards, this concave, which really looks cool together with the sapphire crystal here. So this watch will definitely not scratch as easy as other watches because of the ceramic material. Very easy to grip, no play, really high-end quality turning of the bezel, and because the bezel overhangs, it makes it very easy to grip. So this is also just a testament to the attention to detail that Rado they actually put into these watches. So having a look at the dial, you see these beautiful big applied hour markings here. They are filled with lume. Then you see the typical Rado Captain Cook handset with the typical little smaller fat pointy arrow hour hand, and then the sword style minute hand, and then this almost kind of teardrop shaped second hand here. Everything is filled with lume, Swiss made, Captain Cook 300 meters of water resistance, Rado below 12 o'clock. And the cool detail with Rado watches is that you can actually move the anchor around, you see. So the logo here with the anchor, when you turn the watch around, it will actually move downwards and upwards. So that's a cool detail. And also the little detail with the red numerals on the date wheel here is a nice little detail in my opinion. So let's have a lume shot. This is Swiss Super Luminova, and I'm absolutely happy with the lume. Really great lume. This is just a testament to this being a tough tool watch. You see the case is brushed, really nice look. You see the more silvery color of the bezel here and the crown. Really nice contrast to this kind of lightly satin finished case. Then you get the inner links here of the oyster style bracelet polished, and the outer links are brushed. The point clasp here, very easy to operate, and a solid case back with the seahorses here. High-tech ceramic materials, Swiss made. This is a watch that is on loan from Rado and Swatch Group. Thanks a lot to the nice people at Rado and Swatch Group for lending me this watch. So I actually think, although this is a big watch, that it wears pretty nicely on my 17.5 centimeter wrist circumference. Again, here you see the light play with this beautiful, almost kind of purplish dial. I really like the effect of the sunburst on the dial here. Looks really, really great. And also the high polished hands and hour markings. And then of course the polished center links. Overall, I really like the stealth look. It wears really nicely for a big watch. Definitely for my personal taste, I think it becomes a little too big, but it's not a problem. On Rado's website, and I'm leaving a link to the website down in the description, you can go and read about the process and this material and what it means, and also the history of the ceramic watches of Rado. I think it's very interesting, and I definitely think this watch is something that is unique and different to a lot of other dive watches. So let's talk a little about the pluses and the minuses. I actually think it's kind of a plus that even though it's kind of a big dive watch, 43 millimeters in diameter, 14 millimeters thick, almost 15 millimeters thick, it wears really nicely actually. So if you like your dive watches big, prominent, and if you even have a bigger wrist than I have, it will probably wear a little bit smaller. I think this is definitely the watch you should look into. It's a tough watch. It's a very accurate movement, great lume, really interesting materials, a very unique Rado design and choice of materials for this watch, which makes it very different than a lot of other dive watches. So if you buy one of these watches, you have something definitely more unique than a lot of other brands, in my opinion. It's ISO 6425 certified, so you get a true certified tough tool dive watch with very cool materials. So what are the minuses? Well, I still would have preferred that they made this watch a little bit smaller. You can of course get other versions. If you want the stainless steel version, you get it in 42 millimeters, for example, then it will wear smaller. I definitely understand people who like their sports watches big. I do prefer them a little bit smaller than this. It, in my everyday use, would have no big practicality to wear these tough big watches. I would definitely have preferred it to be a little bit smaller, although I can easily pull it off. I also think that the price point is a little bit steep. I know you get a very interesting watch, a Rado watch, a historic material for Rado with the ceramic material, something very different. You did see the lume, you saw the finish, you saw the accuracy of this watch. So of course it's not a cheap watch to produce. It's definitely a tough price point. So go and try this watch at your AD, because this is definitely a watch you should try and you should see it in real life. So you can find the link to Rado's website down in the description, and then you can go and find your local AD. The last gripe I have is that you don't get any micro adjustments with this bracelet, and I think that's a bit of a letdown. Just give me half links, or just a few micro adjustments in the clasp, because then you can get the perfect fit. I managed to get a really nice fit just removing one link, so it's not impossible. But definitely micro adjust or half links would definitely be something you would want for a watch priced at this price point. Overall, fun, interesting watch, a little too big for me, but definitely a watch I think you should look into. So thanks a lot to Rado and Swatch Group for lending me this watch. Now it's going back, unfortunately. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you very soon again. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.